Most of us remember our first paranormal experiences. For some, it was when we were children. For others, they came much later. Here's my story, for what it's worth. I was born in New York City, in the Bronx, an average kid. Our first apartment was in a building much like this one. I loved living there. We had a lot of fun, playing elevator tag, going to the fountain with Mom, and riding the L, the elevated train. That's the 3rd Avenue L. It's gone now, torn down. I remember holding my hands over my ears when we walked underneath it. It was loud. I think it was always loud in the city. But we didn't know any different. It was an awesome time to be a kid in the Bronx. We actually had a drive-in theater not far from our apartment. I saw my favorite childhood movie there, sitting on pillows in the back of the Nash Rambler station wagon. Those were some good times. Dad still tells the story that he used to hide us under the pillows in the back so he didn't have to pay for us to get in. But I think we got in for free, and he just enjoyed watching us play that game. We moved to our second apartment, and by then my dad had his new car, and all us kids spent our days roller skating, riding bikes, and running up to the school playground. My first paranormal experiences were the result of an unfortunate traumatic incident. This is actually our old house. You see the 2 small windows in the middle? My room was the top window. I loved it. I was in the front of the apartment while everyone else slept in the back. Now see the front door directly below those windows? The door stood at the end of the lobby hall, and it was a metal door with 2 panes of glass. One day, as I skipped down the hall with my mom behind me, I tripped on something and flew through the bottom pane. The door was flung open with me in it, and the iron design work tossed me back out of the door just before the top pane came down like a guillotine. I got lucky. I was 5 years old. I remember a lot of it all these years later. Mostly, I remember screaming and glass and blood. Oh, and white socks. My neighbor came running out of his house and didn't waste time putting his shoes on. It's funny what you remember. My next memory is coming home from the hospital with a cast on my arm. And everything seemed normal, until the night soon after, when I had what should have been one of those average childhood dreams. They say as a child you'll probably have a scary dream about a witch, a skeleton, or a ghost. I had one. Mine was a witch, except my witch closed my door. And she wasn't cute. She was a bit more like this. But Mom said it was just a bad dream, and I believed her. So they decided to cheer me up by buying me a life-size doll. This may actually be the same kind of doll they bought me. She looked just like me. She was cool, at first. And then she wasn't, because she wanted to really be my friend. My mom says I told her the doll was talking to me. I remember it a little differently, and so the doll went. I was too young at the time, so my mom waited until I was about 13, actually, to tell me about the gift I'd inherited that had been passed down from my Nana to my mom. And until she explained it to me, I felt a little like, well, maybe that's a bit extreme. Maybe a little bit more like Carrie minus the pig's blood. Anyway, that's my teen years, and that's a story for another vlog. Hope you enjoyed the pictures. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.